Here at Native Music Enthusiasts, we love the Native American wood flute, and we love creating compositions that 1. Help you build skills, 2. Increase your musical toolkit, and 3. Help you improve as a player. If you're interested in learning new techniques and new tricks that perform better, as well as seeing new compositions, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get all of our videos in your home feed as soon as possible. Thanks for checking us out. Hi, I'm Enoch Chapman, and this is my etude number 16 for the Native American wood flute, focusing on the lower hand, entitled "The West Was Lost, But Shall Rise Again." If you want to stick around at the end of the performance, I'll talk about some teaching instructions that might make this piece a little bit better, but for now, please enjoy this work. Thanks for watching our performance preview. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up to show us your support. Plus, subscribe to our channel and that will get our videos into your home feed as soon as they come online. Now, on to the performance notes. Okay, so as a performer, this piece is deceptively tricky because we're introducing a new tone, and that new tone in the A flute is the B tone. We have been adding new tones all over the place. We've been adding our chromatics, which is the 1 and 3 and 2. Those aren't anything that are tricky to add. But with the B tone, it is tricky because we're actually introducing the idea of a half covering. And we haven't done this before, but half coverings are you take your finger and you're only covering the note a little bit. It's just a half of a cover instead of the full finger on the hole. So your finger's on the hole here, but on the half covering, you're only covering partially. So you get this type of idea. Now, half coverings are incredibly difficult. Actually, some people have an easy time with it, but some people that's a very tricky thing. Because if you don't do the half covering just right, you can get tons of squeaks. Right, and trying to play around with where you are and to get the right half covering is really important because it's unique to every performer. Every performer has to find their own little sweet spot to get that half covering just right. So you as a performer, you need to play around with it. And you can't look at this song as being like, oh, this is just an easy piece because it's just very open, long tones. It's those half covering holes that make it so difficult. So you have to try to find your right sweet spot in order to make this piece work. But once you find that half covering, all of a sudden things can become a little bit easier for you. Now, some tricks to maybe help you out. First, you take your finger and you maybe roll it a little bit, try to figure out where the right position is for that half covering. Okay, now that I find that, that's where I can keep my finger and know that's the position where I want it to be. It's trying to understand where those rolls are, where that position is, so that you can avoid what I just did as that kind of half quaver, that kind of squeaky tone in there. And it's tricky. It's not something that's easy to do, but something for you to think about. So the other big thing is don't play on your fingertips. Some people, when they play, they'll kind of keep their fingers like this, where it's a lot more on the tips. But I found out that if you play on your pads, you have a little bit easier time getting to the right notes, and those half coverings become a little bit easier instead of doing it on your tips. Now, for some people that may be completely different. I've just found that for me, using the pads are a lot nicer than actually using the tips. So something for you to work on, something for you to try to put into your toolkit, because the half coverings are a really tricky idea, a really tricky concept, but if you can understand them, they are really cool to be able to add more color to your expression. So half fingerings, man. Go out and try it. Okay, so for teachers, we're now introducing yet another new note, but this note is a lot more complicated than the other two chromatics that we introduced beforehand. And this new note actually belongs inside of like the A minor scale, and that note is the B. However, the B tone is very, very tricky. It's not as easy to play as you would think, because it doesn't require you to actually put your fingers and keep your fingers on the holes. It requires you to actually take your third finger and cover up a hole partially. So now we have a half cover. And half coverings are interesting because we see a lot of half coverings within music all over the place. And for the most part, inside of the Native American wood flute, we do see a lot of half coverings as we play. However, half coverings are very tricky. They are just so difficult because you've got to get the finger just positioned just right in order to get that tone to ring true. So here, we're introducing the B inside of the A flute. We're introducing that B. But if you don't get that half covering just right, oh man, it sounds like a squeak, or it sounds like a miss hole. So you have to get that half covering kind of really right in order for it to sound good. And that's what this song is about as your students are trying to learn this, long tones that they can use that half covering with, as well as introducing faster passages where they can, use tricks and quick moves to get that half covering to the pitches that they need to. Right, if you actually don't hit that half covering just right, all of a sudden you get squeaks and it just doesn't sound right. So thing here is try to work with your students to get that half covering, because that half covering, whatever position is going to work best for them, is really what you're trying to accomplish. And for some people, that position is right here, where it's on the side. For some people, it's on the top. It's the idea of actually getting your half coverings down a little bit stronger. And one of the better ways to do that is actually to use the pad of your flute, or pad of your finger instead of the tip of your finger, but to use the pad of your finger and then slowly learn where you can roll back and forth to get that half covering pitch so it sounds right for you and your students. Thanks for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that thumbs up, because that's going to tell us what type of content that you really like. Also, if you want to see tips and tricks about how to play the Native American wood flute better, or watch more videos about new compositions that will help you increase your musical toolkit and help you improve as a performer, then subscribe to our channel, because that's going to get our videos into your home feed as soon as we release them. Finally, we couldn't do this without our Patreon community. It's with the support of our patrons that we're able to compose new works and create new content like this that gets out to people who are interested in learning about how to better play the Native American wood flute. We love the Native American wood flute, and we love being able to create new compositions to help people improve and get better. And it's because of people in our Patreon community that we're able to do that. If you want to learn more about our stuff on Patreon, visit patreon.com/native music enthusiast to see what we're doing and see what we're trying to give back to people who want to help support us. Thank you again so much for watching this video, and we hope you learned something.